Hey Jacob.
Hey Matt.
What are we driving today?
It's a bloody MG ZST.
You didn't see that, by the way, guys. Actually, this is the first MG we've had on the channel. So yay, clap, big clapping, because we got MG on the channel. Yes!
MG.
Ugh. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. 10 years ago, you would ask me, would I buy an MG? I probably would have said no. Didn't have the greatest brand reputation, but it's been a decade since 10 years ago. And
That's the truest statement you've ever said.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this thing is actually genuinely impressive, but that doesn't mean it's the best. This one here is the Essence, it's top of the range, 35 grand drive away, and you do get a lot of stuff, but not all of it is the greatest of that stuff. Does that make sense, Jacob?
Kind of.
It'll make sense to you as you watch the video. All right, let's start with how this thing looks, because frankly, man, I think this is a really attractive SUV.
I think especially in this paint color.
Yeah, this orange paintwork is really cool. It's an optional extra, about $700, but well worth it, especially if you're buying one of these. The headlights here are pretty bright LEDs. They've got a really cool daytime running light to them. It does look a bit Mercedes A-Class, but I don't know, maybe they got inspiration from that. Check out this grille, it's pretty massive. And also you got the MG badge there. This also has a radar here and some cameras up top. It has a really comprehensive safety suite. So if you want to learn more about that, head to our website, CarSauce.com. We have a full written article about this car out now. But otherwise, I think it's actually pretty sedate in its styling, which is a good thing in today's day.
It's definitely understated.
It doesn't just like blind you with just how ostentatious it is. Let's check out the side. So coming to the side, you're gonna notice these 17-inch wheels here. They are wrapped in really good tires though. Michelin Primacy Thirst. I've never seen maybe it's 3ST. I don't know, but whatever they are, they actually work really well, especially because this thing is front wheel drive only. And so it has a decent amount of power to those front wheels. We'll come back to that, but these are actually really good tires, man. It's good to see that.
Yeah.
It's good when a car company actually gives a damn, because often they don't, and they put on the cheapest, nastiest thing. It just ruins the drive. Happy with that, rant over. Like these mirror caps, you do have a 360 camera there as part of this Essence grade. And if I do a little pirouette, you'll see that we have keyless entry and go. But it's funny, if the car is on and you press this lock button and the keys inside, do a little ballad.
It's like a $35,000 musical instrument.
The rest of the side is pretty impressive. You do have some roof rails up top. Trophy badge there. You might be wondering why trophy, because in China, this is sold as a trophy. The MG trophy, I think.
They give this out as trophies.
I think that's what it means, from what I read online. Let's check out the back. So, what about the bum of the MG ZST? Well, again, it's pretty smart looking. So you got this cool 3D effect tail light here. It works totally fine. The MG badge is very Volkswagen-esque in that you push it, and that's also your boot release, so premium touch for sure. Pilot badge there, because this thing has MG's latest pilot system, which is a really good safety system, and ZST badge there, because yes, this is the ZS bloody T. You do have a diffuser down the bottom with a fake exhaust though. There's a very real exhaust underneath it, but not the worst styling I've ever seen. And frankly, I really like this color, so I'm gonna give it a pass.
Yeah.
A pass with flying bloody colors. Jacob, let's check out the interior. Alrighty, so coming onto the interior now of the MG ZST. And in most places, it's a pretty nice place to be. Apart from that little interruption, we have soft touch materials in a lot of places, definitely not all. It's also that carbon fiber material. For some reason, automotive manufacturers love to put this in cheaper cars. It won't fool anyone, but hey, at least it's soft touch. It's actually important because that helps to soak up a lot of road noise. I like this though, the attention to detail down here. You've also got the soft touch materials where your legs often touch. Even the shifter has MG embossed into it. So in terms of initial perceived build quality, it feels really solid. Like, listen to this. Ooh, pretty good.
That was a thunk.
That's a thonk. These seats, now, to be honest, I had pretty low expectations because a lot of Chinese manufacturers don't tend to do this very well, but these seats are very comfortable, very cushioned. I like them a lot. The only thing I wish they had was lumbar support. They don't have it even on this top spec. They are automatic adjustment, at least on the driver's side, but look, you do get good leg support regardless, so that's my biggest thing. If we've watched my Havel reviews, we know that that's probably my biggest complaint. The tech in here is good and bad. So here in the Essence, you get a digital instrument cluster, and it's actually pretty responsive. It shows plenty of information on it. It works really well. It's maybe a little bit dim. The infotainment display though, it's just not the best. It's a little bit slow to respond. It takes a little while to open menus. This unit here is having a few bugs, like when we're in Apple CarPlay, it's really hard to get back to the screen. In fact, you can't unless you unplug your phone. Perhaps that's just an issue with this car. I don't know. And the other thing is that you do get air conditioning controls, and they've put them out as buttons, so that's a good thing. If you want to turn on your heated seats, which they're really heated, almost too hot, when you open up this screen, it's really easy. You can just turn them on there, but it's just annoying that it's within the screen. I kind of wish it wasn't, but a lot of manufacturers are doing this, to be fair. Not a good trend, but a lot are. Also, you do get a 360 camera, and it's pretty decent. Like, the graphics are okay. I like the little model you get, so yeah, it works fine. Put the car back into park though, and oh, this leather steering wheel feels really nice in the hands. You do have buttons to control pretty much everything you need to from the steering wheel, so you don't often have to take your hands off, which is a good thing. You do get a little storage area up front. You get 2 USB ports and a 12-volt socket. You've also got a pretty decent sized glove box, and the sound system is okay. It won't blow your mind, but it does the job. The thing I love, and it comes in this Essence trim, is this huge panoramic sunroof. Like, it's massive, and it can really extend quite far back. It's almost a convertible experience. Like, it's that good.
Drop top MG.
Drop top MG. Speaking of MG, you do get a couple of cup holders, and within it, it says new MG ZS. And I can only imagine that that won't age very well, as this car ages quite well. You know what I mean? It's gonna be like 10 years down the track, you're gonna read that and you're gonna be like, is it new?
Are you gonna be, or are you gonna be like, oh, I remember when I bought this car. Good memories.
Reminiscing. This is why I hired you, Jacob. You bring back a lot of good memories for me. And some bad. You do have your cruise control stalk here, and that works with the MG Pilot system. We'll come back to that one a bit more as we're driving, but this thing can essentially drive itself down a highway. Look, man, I think at the surface, it feels really good. I think if you go digging a little bit, you can find some oddities that may be a bit annoying. But for me, it's not a deal breaker, I'll be totally honest. Okay, so back seats, what's it like back here? Well, I'm 5'11", I have plenty of legroom, plenty of headroom, and plenty of tow room too. So people sitting in the back are actually gonna really appreciate it back here. You also have really cushioned back seats too, so it does feel pretty premium back here, which I was quite surprised by. The only quirk that I can really think of is that you don't get a center armrest, but you also don't get a center headrest. So if you're sitting in that seat and you are in an accident, are you just gonna get whiplash? I don't know.
I feel like you might.
But you might. So that's a bit strange, maybe a bit of an omission. You do get a couple of USB-A ports, a little storage area there. I wish it did have vents though, because you are sitting quite far away from the front. So on a hot Australian day, you might really feel that. And also you get a couple of matte pockets here too. And the quality, yeah, it's not the best back here, but just like every other car at this price point. So can't really complain. Look, it's a nice place to be.
It's pretty bland, but gets the job done.
Gets the job done. Let's check out the practicality. Okay, so practicality, what's it like in the MG ZST? Well, it's actually pretty damn good. So you do get a raised loading floor, which actually does have quite a lot of space underneath it, and a Space Saver spare wheel, so I guess that's pretty good. Even on its own though, it's still quite a lot of space, and you can very easily drop the second row by pulling these tabs, and then you have an enormous amount of space. It's actually very impressive. So packaging on the MG ZST, it's damn good. Let's drive the thing though. Alrighty, friend, let's give it some sauce.
Oh, come on. That's not bad.
Look, there's a choice of 2 engines, but it depends on what grade you go for. If you go for the lower 2 grades, it means you get a 1.5 litre, 4-cylinder, naturally aspirated engine with a CVT.
No thanks.
It's not very powerful, it's like 84 kilowatt. This is definitely the engine you want. Let's go around this corner.
Hey, that's actually not bad.
It's really not too bad. It pumps out 115 kilowatt of power, 230 newton meters of torque. MG Pilot over here is not very happy.
No, it's yelling at you quite a bit, actually.
Can I turn it off?
Yes,
How?
I think so. Just hold down.
Thankfully though, it is pretty quick to turn off. You just press a button here and it's off.
Yeah, that was totally easy for us to work out how to do.
Seamless.
Seamless transition.
The biggest complaint that reviewers seem to have about this car is not its 6-speed automatic torque converted transmission. It's actually pretty good. It's the suspension tuning, but honestly, I don't mind it.
Look, it's actually pretty good, especially around the corner. I'm surprised by how good it handles. But it is a little bit wafty, don't you think?
Yeah, but I like that, you know, family SUV, frankly. I like it that it's a bit softer. It does not feel jarring at all. This is actually surprisingly good. Maybe it's the tires, because they're using Michelin tires. Like, I'm genuinely surprised by that.
Oh.
It has a decent amount of pull. I think the most disappointing aspect of this car for me, which isn't too bad actually, is the fuel economy. It's averaging like over 10 litres. We've been driving pretty well today. Oh, on this drive actually it's 6.8 litres.
It's because I've been driving.
But for my testing, it's been closer to about 10. To be fair, I've been driving it mostly in town. So it's not too bad. There you go, 8.5 litres overall. For a 3-cylinder, it's not the best, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. The other thing as well is the steering tune. Now, I've put it in like the dynamic setting in the adjustment. There's no sport modes. The steering itself is pretty light, which is great for around town, but if you're chucking it around a corner, it doesn't really love it. Having said that, who is chucking their MG ZST around a corner?
We are.
We are.
At Saucy Corner.
Saucy Corner. We're going to brake boost launch it. You're going to tickle my tiny little pickle. Let's brake boost launch it.
Ooh, built up a bit of boost there. So much boost it vibrated the entire car.
To be fair, traction was pretty good. Surprised by that.
I'm scared.
All right, corner number 1. Yeah, it's light.
Oh yeah.
It's a bit light.
Bit of understeer there.
Traction's kicked in. It's like, no, not today, boys.
Oh god.
Oh, bit of understeer there.
Hey, that was all right.
It was all right. I remember growing up watching MG reviews. None of them were very positive. None of them were very positive.
How the tables have turned.
Yeah, look, to be fair, they have gotten better as time has gone on. That MG4 looks like it's going to be a really good car. I'm genuinely surprised by how much I like this car.
You know what? For the price, I actually think it gets the job done pretty well.
Pretty damn well. Do you need the highest trim? Probably not.
No.
But even if
nice.
you do get it, it's, you know, it's still 35 grand drive away with a 7-year warranty.
Which is like the cheapest car you'll get these days.
Essentially. But it doesn't feel cheap. Like, it genuinely feels nice. My bum is nice and warm, I'll tell you what.
Mine was too warm. I had to turn it off.
We do have to have the screen up to be able to use it though. Once it's there, it's like, okay, bye. Otherwise, it's got its quirks, but it works pretty damn well. Shall we performance test it?
Let's do it.
Alrighty, now we're gonna launch the Z. How dare you? That's my job. Jacob put the car's transmission into sport mode. Let's do this. Let's brake boost launch it.
It's just so addictive in this
Fist me good. Let's do this.
Oh. Maybe sport mode's too much for it.
Feels pretty good, man.
The transmission's great.
It's actually a genuinely good transmission.
Come on.
What?
At least it's under 10 seconds. 0 to 100 in 9.9 seconds. Okay. How it feels about that, yeah. Final thoughts. Okay, so final thoughts on the MG ZST. Look, I think it's a really good package, especially at its price point. I don't think you need to go all the way for the Essence. I think if you go for one of the lower grades, you're getting it at a really, really good price point. And the way that this thing drives, the way it handles is surprisingly good. I didn't expect it based on what other reviewers have said, but I really enjoyed my time with it. The only thing I will say is that some of those features on the inside, I mean, it's got a lot of them, but some of them are just a bit unrefined. And I think if they can tune those things up, which I'm pretty sure they've done with the new MG4, stay tuned for that, it's gonna be pretty damn impressive. But Jacob, what do you think?
I would agree. I think some of those interior annoyances are a bit too much for me at the moment, but I'm excited to see where MG go in the future.